Your brain isn't broken, it's just overstimulated. Let's talk about why you feel fried and how to reset. Hi, everyone. It's Natalie. I'm really glad you are joining me today as I dive into a topic I know impacts many of us because I hear from you and I see it in my friends and my coworkers. So let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like your brain just can't take one more thing, one more notification, one more conversation, one more email, and suddenly you're snapping at your kids or zoning out at work? You're not broken. You're overstimulated. Today, I want to break down what's happening in your brain and why this constant overwhelm has become our new normal, and most importantly, how to calm it. So overstimulation happens when your brain and your nervous system are flooded with more input than they can process. It's not just noise, it's sensory overload, digital overload, and emotional overload. In my 28 years as a TV news anchor, I thought I had multitasking mastered. Picture this. I'd have a phone in one hand or on the desk, a laptop open, monitors, many monitors showing other TV stations, a teleprompter with all the words scrolling right in front of me, and a producer talking directly into my ear, all while delivering the news live. Flawlessly, right? Or at least I hoped it would be. I wore that type of chaos like a badge of honor. I told myself, see, I can handle anything. But here's the truth. Looking back, I wasn't as effective as I thought I was or as effective as I wanted to be. Sure, I could juggle it, but my brain was constantly shifting gears, burning energy every time I redirected my attention. And here's the real problem. I carried that chaos mindset with me because my brain had become so accustomed to it being on TV for 5 hours a day. And that's exactly what's happening to so many of us in life right now. We think we're multitasking effectively, but really, we're just task switching at lightning speed, and it leaves our nervous systems completely fried. So science backs this up. I'm not just saying it. One 2022 study found that even just hearing a smartphone notification sound slows response times and makes the brain work harder to stay focused. In other words, that little ding isn't harmless. It actually costs you energy and attention. So why does overstimulation feel so much heavier today than it did even 10 years ago? Well, technology is the big reason, of course. And I'm not anti-technology. I have it all around me. I like it. I embrace it. I use it. But we're living in an always-on culture with fewer moments of downtime. Even when you think that you're resting, chances are your phone is within reach, right? It's silently waiting to hijack your focus. Here's the science behind it all. Interruptions increase stress, they increase frustration, and they increase errors. And it doesn't even take a ding. Studies show that just having your phone in the room with you, even when it's on silent, it reduces performance on tasks. Your brain is still allocating energy to resist that possibility of interruption. And it's not just about your focus. When we're overstimulated, the body's stress response, the fight or flight system, it kicks in. The vagus nerve, which is part of our calming parasympathetic system, is meant to help us reset, but constant pings and nonstop multitasking, they actually weaken that really important signal. And over time, we lose access to the calm that the vagus nerve should provide. So think about those newsroom days I told you about. All that simultaneous input, the producer's voice, the monitors, the cues, the teleprompter, the phone, my laptop. It kept me in a constant state of alert. It was important when I was working, but that's where so many of us live right now. Except it follows us home, as I mentioned, and we live in that state nonstop. So how do you know if you are overstimulated? Here are some common signs. I want you to listen closely to this. Irritability, snapping over really small things, and you have to be real with yourself on this one. Also brain fog or forgetfulness, or maybe trouble focusing, even on really simple tasks, or feeling what's called tired but still wired. tired but wired. Some physical symptoms, maybe headaches, tense shoulders. I certainly had that one. Shallow breathing. And here's a real life example. While writing this episode today, I was deep in thought, typing away. I heard my phone ding in the kitchen. I did leave it in the kitchen, but I heard it ding. Without thinking, I almost got up to check it. That one little ding totally broke my concentration. It cost me more than a pause in my focus. It pulled me out of flow. I was thinking, I was doing really well writing, and ding, and it completely broke my thought process. It's not unique to me. Studies show the average American checks their phone, you want to guess? 85 times a day. That's average. Parents in one study reported getting close to 300 notifications on their phone daily. That's hundreds of tiny disruptions pulling us out of focus. No wonder we're so exhausted. And it's not just adults. Kids believe that they can study. Don't all kids say this? Kids think they can study with their phones in the room with them, maybe flipped over, maybe even muted. But the science is very clear that even the presence of a phone in the room lowers their focus and their performance. Their brains are splitting attention. No matter what they tell you, their brains are splitting that attention, waiting for the next ping. Even if they don't hear it, they're waiting for it because they might be expecting a friend to get back to them or text them. So let's talk about how to reset, because there is some good news here. There are ways to reset your brain and calm your nervous system. And here are a few that I have found and studies show work. Take micro breaks. What does that mean? Step outside. Breathe. Close your eyes for 60 seconds. Small resets throughout the day really do matter. Then there is what's called the Pomodoro method. So instead of multitasking, try focusing on just one thing at a time. The Pomodoro method is a really simple time management strategy where you set a timer for 25 minutes and you give your full attention to that single task. When the timer goes off after 25 minutes, you stand up. No matter where you are, you take a 5-minute break. After 4 rounds of this, you take a longer 15 to 30-minute break. The cycle helps your brain focus deeply. Research shows this, while also building in some rest. But you don't need the little timer. You can also use free sites like pomofocus.io to try it right in a browser tab. So open up a second browser when you're working, and it's free. There's a timer there, and that will help you just set that 25-minute timer with nothing else open, and you don't have to pick up your phone to do it. So here's how it plays out in real life. Sometimes I'll use the Pomodoro when I'm writing. I set the timer for 25 minutes. I don't touch my phone. I keep it in the other room. Don't check email. I just write or read. Focus on whatever it is that I need to get done. When the timer dings, I let myself stand up, stretch, get water, maybe step outside, take a deep breath. It's a simple rhythm that really helps focus without burning out. What's really important here is that we're doing a sensory reset. We're sitting in a quiet, dark room, taking a walk outside, or even just that breath that I mentioned to let your senses reset. Then there's grounding, the grounding of the nervous system. The deep breath, sometimes even humming. I know it sounds silly, but that hum helps reset as well. Splash some cold water on your face. All of these things stimulate the vagus nerve and signal your body it's time to relax. And here's a really practical one. Take back control of your phone notifications. On an iPhone, this is pretty simple. You're going to swipe down from the top right corner to the control center, tap that crescent moon icon for Do Not Disturb, hold it down, and you'll see options like work mode, personal mode, sleep mode, really important one. You can even schedule these so your phone automatically silences alerts during certain hours, like when you want to be sleeping. Mine starts at 9 p.m. and then it comes back on at 7 a.m. And if you're worried about missing something urgent, this is what you can do. Go to Settings, Focus, and Allowed Notifications. That's Settings, Focus, Allowed Notifications, and then choose the people who can break through whatever mode that you want them to break through on. Everyone else can wait. My kids, close family members are all in that breakthrough mode. So no matter where I am, if there's an emergency, I know that they can get through. So when you take control of your notifications, you're not cutting yourself off from the world. You're giving yourself and your brain the uninterrupted space that it needs to think, focus, and rest. So here's the bottom line, everyone. Overstimulation is not weakness. It's your brain telling you it's simply had enough. You can't always control the world around you, but you can build in these resets, and your body is going to thank you for it. And for women especially, it's really important to name this, because between work, home responsibilities, and there are so many of them, emotional labor, and having a social life, hopefully, our load is already heavier. So giving yourself permission to unplug, it's not selfish, it's survival. I know this was a short episode today because we're all short on time, right? But if this hit home for you, I just hope that you can try one of these, maybe a few of these. And if this episode resonated, share it with a friend who might be running on empty too. I know they'll appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe. I have some incredible guests coming up in the next few months, and I can't wait for you to hear from them. Thanks for being here today and taking the time to improve yourself. I'll talk to you next week. Thank you for joining the Natalie Tysdal podcast. You can follow along on Instagram and at natalietysdal.com. Subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave a review so I can continue to bring you fresh content. See you next week.